Hi, everyone. So I actually just recorded this and it got deleted I don't even know what happened. That's what happens. Rule number one of Pisces Club. You don't talk about Pisces Club, okay? So if you want to know what it's like to date a Pisces man, that's what happens if you tell their secrets. You get deleted. Neptune will just delete your ass. Anyways, seriously though, I'm being serious, but I'm joking like I always do. What it's like to date a Pisces man, and yes, I am serious about what I just said. That is a true statement for everybody wondering. And I feel like I know Pisces very well. I have a stellium in the 12th house, ton of planets over chilling like a villain over there. And my dad's a Pisces. I've dated Pisces men. I love Pisces men. I think that they are amazing. Some of the best men I've ever dated. And also no, I've met some Pisces that were like, the worst, I guess. But, well, they were all pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, let's get on. So, what if I were to tell you that everything right now isn't really real? What if I were to tell you that we're actually in a matrix? What if I were to tell you that this is all just in your imagination? But what if I was serious? What if I was actually being serious? Oh, wait a minute, girl. I don't know you that well. Forget about what I said. We'll talk about this later. I think I'm gonna go home now. So the Pisces man may or may not be in touch with this idea that everything is real somewhere else. That this exists maybe somewhere else, but here at the same time. So Pisces in the 12th house and is represented by the planet Neptune. And so even though people try to explain what that is, the reality is that, it's Neptune. It is something that is very hard to really describe and put into human words, if that makes sense, or anything. And so with that being said, it is very hard to pin a Pisces down. In fact, don't even try. Don't even try. If that's your intent, just date someone else, okay? If they even get an inkling that you even considered for a second to kind of, I guess, lock them down, they will be off. They'll be off. So these are amazing, amazing, amazing men. One of the ways that they're tricky. They are so tricky. Now, the trickiest thing about a Pisces, so in my Libra video, I said something to the effect of, if you meet a Libra who is a player and you can't figure it out, shame on you, right? Because they're open. What you see is what you get, in a way, kind of. I explained it in my Libra video, in a way. And so with a Pisces, what you see is not what you get. Not at all. You don't even get what you see, what you get, what you see, what you see, what you get with a Pisces, okay? It can really go either way. Sometimes a great Pisces will act like what would normally be considered undateable or not the best Pisces, and sometimes vice versa. The Pisceans that are not that great, I mean, man, you would never even know. I mean, you wouldn't know until 30 years later. You're like, holy shit. So you kind of like, I always like to use this example with a Pisces. With the Scorpios are great manipulators, but there's a certain sense of, part of you kind of knows what's going on in this situation, but it's kind of hot, or like, you like it or something, or maybe you don't like it but you're afraid, but there's some sort of knowing, if this makes sense. With a Pisces, you think you know and you're like, uh-huh, okay, I got you. And then you wake up 30 years later and you're like, whoa, wait, but is this real? Wait, which part? What's my name again? How is this possible? I'm confused. Can we talk about this again? So, I mean, if you're planning on dating a Pisces, I highly suggest having a really good therapist. And now I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding because I think everybody needs a good. I don't like therapy. I like hypnotherapy. I think that's great. I think that there's other things. But they were brought into your life to teach you how to let go and access deeper levels of existence. So you must go deep within yourself in order to get through, okay? Now, since that's true, that's why I said you better get yourself a good therapist, because that's kind of their gift. Their gift is to open you up, especially if they are the masculine energy and you're the feminine energy in the relationship. Their gift is to open you up to the divine, to help you access your deep feminine essence, which may or may not be what you think it is. And a huge part of that is having this deep connection to the divine, this overflowing existence of divinity, and being able to touch different existences, if that makes sense, different realms of existence. And so how you would say this in a normal way is understanding many different people from many different walks of life. That's the easy way to say it. So the thing with the Pisces is that the fact that they even exist in this world is can be, depending on the Pisces, a bit of a tough thing. The fact that they see what they see and know what they know and have to, like, put a monkey suit on and go to work every day is a really effed up, excuse me, I shouldn't swear, effed up thing for a Pisces. So since that's true, the other reason why I say you better have a good therapist is because of the fact, and I don't literally mean therapist, I'm just using it as a label for, you better have it together emotionally, because they are everybody's therapist. Everybody emotionally dumps on them. So if you're not here to bring them back to their body, that's the key with a Pisces, you need to bring them back to their body, okay? You need to help them get rid of tension in their body. And I'm not talking about kink, okay? Although, like I always say, if that's what you want to do, that's a different conversation. It's just not what I'm addressing. I am addressing their storage of emotions within their body. So one of the secrets to Pisces is that you know how they feel about you by where they're storing, or how they feel by where they're storing pain in their body, okay? How they feel in general. You know how they feel about you, about things like if you want to give them a massage and they're like, why would you do that? Well, they're not into you, right? Like, they're just, barring any other thing happening in their life associated with that or whatever, different thing. But you really need to give these people massages. You need to bring them back to their body in some way. You need to help them get rid of that tension that they may or not know, forgive me, that they store in their body. And so if you are that connected energy that is able to help them release in that way, you're really much further ahead than everyone else. So the things that you need to inundate the Pisces with, aside from what I've mentioned, are grounding things, grounded and yet connected at the same time, right? And any sort of emotional unloading, I would say you better work on that, right? Like, practice yoga, have some sort of a practice. I like yoga, so I'm kind of projecting, but have something where you are able to take your own emotions and ride that wave with them. And that is really going to allow you to have a really great relationship with this Pisces person that we're talking about. The thing with the Pisces is that they know that reality is elastic or perception, depending on how you look at it. If something happens in a situation, the victim of the situation will have a different idea of the truth than the perpetrator, if you will. The person watching will also have a different point of view. Since they know that there really is no truth, or there is, but it's changeable and it depends on what you're looking at. So if you're like, I need to know this one thing, or you're not okay with that, then you may not want to date. You may not want to date a Pisces. Pisces men are really into people that they can help. And they really, sometimes they don't meet this person until later on in life. It can become, it really depends. Sometimes they don't find their success as well until later on in life. You got to look at the whole chart though, right? And so these days, because of how disconnected our society is, the things that I've described about who a Pisces man is, you may need to represent that in their life. You will probably, in a way, have to be that representation. So, I actually have a secret about Pisces, and I hope that this video records this time, because I'm letting this out of the bag. My secret about Pisces is that if you're with a Pisces, I'm not talking about a crush, okay? I'm talking about you're with a Pisces. If you're like really with a Pisces, they know you. They know you from before, actually. And they know things about you that you don't even know about yourself. Again, why I said that hopefully, you've done work on yourself, because everything that you think is hidden will be brought to the surface maybe in different creative ways. Now, why is this important? Because I'm actually going to tell you the real secret about this. If they know you, that means that you know them too. And so, since that's the case, the gift in this is that the more that you are able to delve deep within yourself and uncover those layers, is the more that you can actually have a real relationship with this person. And the more that you can really connect to them on different realms, in different existences, in different places, in different times. So, if you really look at it, the thing I love, and this is why I love Pisces, it's like, even now, assuming it was a healthy relationship, okay? Even in a relationship with a Pisces that maybe wasn't like the best, or, like maybe you fought a lot, but, it was still like wasn't horrific or anything, okay? You probably learned a lot from that. You probably grew so much as a person, like 10 times the amount that you would have with another sign. A Pisces is here to rip you open, to get you back in touch with who you really are, okay? Now, again, I want to be clear about that. I'm talking about karmically, and I don't mean in an unhealthy sense, okay? Although there will be shadows of that brought up in your relationship, you know, you have to still be in alignment with what's healthy for you, okay, and who you are, because these guys can be tricky. And if they are bad, you know, God knows it's not good. But if they're amazing, they are like the best ever. They are of the divine. It really is super split. And so one of the keys to finding out where they stand in terms of this is this. I guess, I don't want to call it a trick, but I have a question that you can ask them that may help you. What I would do if you're trying to figure out whether or not it's a healthy Pisces or an unhealthy Pisces, I don't even want to call them good or bad, because it's different with a Pisces. It's either they're healthy or they're unhealthy. Well, first of all, if they have any drug addictions, because Pisces, you know, they are drawn to escapism. So if they have anything like any unhealthy escapes like that, well, there you go. There's your answer. You know, done. Move on. Find someone that, you know, if that's how they treat themselves, they're not going to treat you in a healthy way either. And that's just the bottom line. It's no judgment. We're talking about relationships here, okay? Find out what they do when they're alone. What they do to escape and what they do when they're alone. Now, they might not tell you, though. That's the thing. And even if they do, they might sound like Mr. Right. And they might not. It might sound bad, but they actually are a great person. So the real question that will give you the real answer is this. Ask them how they feel about the fact that everything around them is going to eventually end. You know, or ask them if they've ever thought about that. Maybe don't be so dark or deep like I'm being. Maybe say, you know, have you ever thought about the fact that eventually everything around us is going to come to an end? And say it in a positive way, because you want this to be a question and not an emotional drain, okay? Very, very key point here. And depending on how they react to that, because this is something that a Pisces already knows, and so what you're really trying to figure out here is how intimately do they know this? Have they worked on this truth? Okay? And if you want to take it a step further, especially if they themselves are healthy, you can say, how do you feel about the fact that this is the case? And what have you, you know, chosen or decided in your life to do, even though this is true? Like, even though this all one day is all not going to be here, right? Everything will end. What do you choose every moment, even despite the fact that that's true? Like, these are great questions to ask to find out if their face drops and they're like, whoa, what? I personally would never date that Pisces. Ever, 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 ever. And if they're like, whoa, that's like a crazy question to ask. Like, yeah, I have thought about it. I mean, I've never talked about this before. If they're really open to it, and it doesn't really matter what their answer is, you want to see how it shows up in their body. Their answer is not important. What's important is how they physically react. Do they, like, can you see the tension, or do you see them kind of like open up? Because that's going to tell you how healthy they are. And with a Pisces, it's not about good or bad, like I said. It's about healthy or unhealthy, because of the fact that they don't really exist. So you can't say good or bad. They exist. You know, they say the two fish is the conscious and the unconscious, which is not really true. I mean, what it really is this realm and the higher realms, or the other realms, or whatever label you want to use, but it really is not, because we don't even use the conscious and unconscious mind equally anyways. So it doesn't that doesn't really make that much sense. The two fish are of equal size in the depiction, if you really think about it, right? So what it really is the equal existence of here and not here, okay? And the understanding of here and not here. So when you're with a Pisces, make sure that you are bringing them into the goodness. And what I mean by that is leave your emotional unloading for someone else. Like a Taurus might deal with it. Sorry, Taurus, but it's true. You guys will deal with that-ish. I should swear. How dare you do that to a Pisces? They already feel it so deeply. Don't do that, right? Help them release that. And for yourself, too. And spend time being really with them, being really present, breathing with them. When you speak to them or with them, actually listen to what they're saying. And maybe for a moment, you can feel their breath with your breath while you're speaking. Maybe for a moment, you can learn the lesson of riding the wave of breath in order to get through a moment that may not even exist in this realm right now. Maybe for a moment when you're going through something that you don't want to feel, instead you feel a deep letting go and the water taking over your body in a calm, relaxing way. Maybe for a moment you can float on the air that you're breathing instead of being in a moment that you don't want to be in the moment. This is a very small part of what it's like to date a Pisces man. I love you all so very much. From the bottom of my heart to yours, I'm here to really help you love yourself and understand that people are just different and appreciate the qualities that are in them and have some fun. You know, I always crack jokes and sometimes people don't like it. Come on, it's just roll with it. Ride the wave, as they say. And are you dating a Pisces man? Are you in love with a Pisces man? Are you gonna marry a Pisces man? I'm kidding. But seriously, are you with a Pisces man or woman? What is it like? What's that experience like? Please let me know what your thoughts are about all of this stuff. And namaste. Have an amazing day. Love you all. Bye.